All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. We do another live stream here, probably a quick one. I wanted to talk about this because this is a topic that I've been talking about for feels like months by now, feels like weeks. I don't know. It feels like it has been a long time. The new normal that to me is not normal. I hate when I hear people talking about the new normal. This is the new normal. I don't accept that. I don't take that. I don't agree with that. And this is now the new normal to me. So when I hear people talking about these things, when I hear people talking about the new normal and now you have to wear a mask and all that, I don't really take that as the new normal. And again, I'm looking forward to going back into my hopefully regular life because every place that I go, there is something related to COVID-19. Before I get into that, I just want to give a couple shout outs out there. If you're watching, definitely put a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I definitely appreciate if you like, if you share the video, if you share the videos on places out there, Facebook or whatever. And if you support the channel, it's fantastic. Thank you so much. Truly humble you guys doing that. Coming up to my 7 year mark. Coming up to my 7 year mark. I got to tell you, you got to be kind of crazy to do this for 7 years. It has been a long time. Tensy's in the house. What's going on, sir? I hope you're doing fantastic. And I hope you're doing having a great day. Let's see who else out there. Mustin Man 2006. This fellow Devil Dog, what did he say? Hey, I wanted to say that I love what you're doing from one Marine to another Marine. Well, I appreciate that, brother. And definitely Semper Fi. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. All you guys are out there supporting the channel and all that. To me, it's just something that I love and I really appreciate it. Before I get into the video, check it out. Before I get into the video, I just did an interview with a channel called the Valentine Show, and it was pretty interesting video that we did. I'm gonna link it down below. You guys can see it right there. And essentially, we talked about guns. We talked about some of the new guns, and like what to buy, what not to buy, or kind of like home defense. We talked about some of the differences between pistols, revolvers, shotgun, AR, things like that. It was very basic, guy. Nothing crazy, nothing out of control. Just a very basic again, very basic video. If you guys want to check it out, the interview is going to be down there in the description below as well. And check it out, Valentine Show. This guy is awesome. Had a fantastic time, really fantastic time talking to him. And I hope to bring it here in the channel, and I hope to do some videos with him as well. Let me see who else is out there. This is a funny one. Shout out to rest in peace, Donna. God bless, brother. Lewis is in the house. This is funny. Tony said this. Tony says, "Wear a mask. My body, my choice." I made the same statement, man. Same statement. I thought it was my body, my choice, right? But I want to get into this just real quick. I wanted to show you something because, like I said, this thing has been annoying everything out of me. It really has, because to me, it's so hypocritical. For one thing, just like you said, my body, my choice. I thought it was supposed to be, that right there. But I just hate the fact that we have been forced in a way to do this. Like literally, we're getting forced to do this. And a lot of times people tell me things like, well, I'm old. I have a condition. I have a medical condition, and I need to protect myself. And I'm all about it, all about it through all the videos that I have done here in the community since day one. I've done several videos about the mask. I never said not to wear a mask. I mean, and in fact, if you have some of those issues, I think is a great idea for you to wear a mask. But the thing is that a lot of times what you say here in the community is taken for something else, right? People use your words, people use what you're saying, and they use it for something else, or they use, or they misunderstand. I don't know. They essentially get what you say and they put something else on it, right? I never say you shouldn't wear a mask. If you are an older person, and or if you are risk, or if you want to take care of yourself, wear a mask. All about it. Don't be stupid about it. Be smart about things, right? The thing that I always found confusing is that the same people that are flipping out about the mask are eating at the Mexican restaurant. And to me, that's something, crazy. I like to go to the Mexican restaurant. Hey, you know what? I like Hispanic food. And I go there with my wife, and I've been there a couple times, and I see people flipping out about the mask, giving you dirty looks, looking at you like you committed a crime, and with the mask on right here, on set up right here by the neck area, eating, and then putting the mask back on. And to me, it's like, man, if you are so concerned, what are you doing at the Mexican restaurant, right? What are you doing at Ross buying clothes? What are you doing at stores like that? That is not a essential thing, right? I get it. If you go to the store, you get your stuff, you go back home because you think you're gonna get contaminated or whatever. But don't come to me and tell me, hey, you know what? You need to wear a mask while you are at a Mexican restaurant, because we are there in a non-essential thing, right? I'm there to eat. I'm not worried about it. You are worried about it. What are you doing here? It kind of invalidates your whole statement and your whole thing about it, right? If you are so worried about it, be home. Don't be out in the streets, right? That's kind of like my thought when it comes to that. But the thing about this is that it's getting to a point that people are getting bullied, and people getting attitudes, and people getting shame over this. I got a friend of mine, I said this a while ago. Two friends of mine went to McDonald's and to get some food during lunchtime. And literally, they got kicked out. They were like, hey, you got to go. You got to go. And in fact, they weren't even nice about it. They weren't polite about it. They weren't anything. They were like, you got to go. And again, right there, guys come in to get some lunch, they tell them to leave. Now, obviously, I'm a supporter of your own private business. So you set up your own rules, and we have the right to essentially obey, if you want to put obey, or respect those rules or not. But it's getting into a point where every single place that we go, we having these conditions, right? We literally having these conditions. I mean, around here in my house, it's going to get to the point that if you don't wear a mask, you won't be able to eat, right? So once again, they're forcing you to do something that you may not want to do. Now you being forced, because literally there is really literally no places where you could enter and you could buy groceries, because every single store is going to have this policy, right? So in a way, they force you to comply. It's literally being forced to comply, or you can't get milk for your children. And that's kind of crazy, right? So the thing about this is that I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And a friend of mine was telling me this, and I wanted to make a point before I tell you about my friend. But all this is done in the name of safety. And I'm going to tell you, I don't like in the name of safety. I really don't, because every single time we see something like this, people say, well, we need to be safe. And it's in the name of safety. And to me, in the name of safety, it's not something that I literally make decisions on. I feel that a lot of times we need to stop, we need to analyze what's going on, and we need to make a decision, that makes sense, right? And obviously, it doesn't violate people's rights, because a lot of times in the name of safety, it's just something that I don't agree. In the name of safety, you have to wear this. Well, what is going to happen in the future, 20 years from now? What are you going to say to me in the name of safety? Well, in the name of safety, you got to take all the shots, right? We got to take shots now, right? I remember in the military, I remember taking a bunch of shots. At one time, we took this anthrax shots for a couple years, and then they were like, well, no, we're not getting it no more. And then a few years passed by. I spent 11 years in the Marines, and they were like, oh, yeah, we could take him now. And I'm like, what happened? Did something happen in the middle? And we used to take all these shots all the time, all these vaccines and all this all the time. And you don't even know. Sometimes you take all these pills. I'm taking malaria pills. They suck. If you're taking malaria pills, tell me in the comments. I'll tell you, that's worse. If you don't eat, it makes you puke. It makes you have diarrhea. I mean, you name it. It's horrific, right? So again, sometimes they tell you in the name of safety you have to do this, but it doesn't mean that it's I'm in agreement with it. So a friend of mine was telling me this, and it made total sense. For example, children. Some children take the vaccines to go to school, and some children don't. It's your choice, people. It's literally your choice. In fact, you could take a waiver if you don't want to take it in some places. I don't know if some states is different or not. And some of the shots. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily that the shots are bad completely. There may be a few that are good. It may be a few that are not good. But I definitely believe that it's up to you to make that decision, right? I don't like the idea that the government is telling me to take all the shots, right? Obviously, I enlisted in the Marine Corps and I make that decision. I knew that came with that. But I'm talking about our children. So you could go into the place and you could review some of the shots. You could do your own, essentially, your own story or your own research about this, and you could make a decision. And in fact, I done that with little Manny. We go there, looked at all the shots that he was supposed to take. He has taken some, and some of the shots, after doing research, we said, nah, not really. We ain't going for this, right? So again, you kind of making that decision. So now what I want to bring this into is the conversation that I had with a friend of mine where he says, well, what about when they come out with this COVID-19 vaccines? So what are they going to do? Is it going to be in the name of safety? You got to take a shot. You got to get a vaccine. Is that going to be in the name of safety? Now everybody has to go to the doctor and everybody has to get injected with some medication that God knows where it came from, that God knows what kind of results it has, that hasn't been really proven because it goes through the trials, but that's about it. I mean, it's really not hasn't been around for years. It really hasn't been proven for several years that it works, right? So again, a medication, a vaccine that was developed. It went through some trials, and now a few months later, we think that everybody's going to get a shot, right? And to me, and again, I was talking to a friend of mine. It's one of those things where you say, "Well, what are they going to do? Are they going to shame you? Are they going to say, well, if you don't take this shot, if you don't take this vaccine, how dare you in the name of safety? Don't you want to protect the people?" I mean, I know I'm talking, sometimes I don't do this where I say, what if this or what if that? But that's what it's coming from. You can't even go to Target. You can't buy milk because the security guard is going to tell you, hey, you got to wear a mask. So what's going to be next with this, COVID-19 and safety? Hey, show me your mark. You got to show your little shot that you got right here. You got to show a piece of paperwork. Are you coming to my store? You have to wear a mask and you also have to show a registration that says you took this shot. I mean, I'm what if in this, but it's getting to that point because nowadays you walk into a store and there is people shaming you with, again, with cell phones and telling you why you're not wearing a mask. Well, it's because I don't want to. It's quite simple. I don't need you to get close to me. There's already requirements and regulations put in place. We could be 6 feet apart. We don't have to talk. It's that simple. You could be 6 feet apart from me and we don't have to talk. In fact, I could stay in the hallway while you do your thing, and then I could come into the hallway to get my bananas or get my milk, right? We don't even I mean, there's already precautions. There's already so many people that walk inside buildings because we want to minimize the amount of people, right? Now you want me to cover my face. Well, you don't have to get close to me. You really don't. We don't have to be best buddies. We don't have to be battle buddies. We don't have to be holding. You don't have to hold my pocket and I hold yours. You could do your own thing. You could be away from me and I could be away from you, right? So, what's going to be the next thing? Is it going to be like now you have to take a shot? Now you have to get a vaccine. Now I have to go to Target and show my mask and show my registration card that on this day at this time I took a shot and here is what it is, right? I mean, it's getting to a point that is becoming insane, really becoming insane, and it's crazy out there. And again, I was talking to my friend and we were talking about this, and this is a point that he actually brought to me, and then he even told me, as we're getting into this conversation, he's like, what are we going to do next? Are we going to get a ship? You guys, people talk about this in the Bible, right? Is it going to be a mark in your body? Is it going to be a chip in your body that is going to say, you could scan my arm, and when you scan my arm, it's going to give you my information, 30 years from now? I mean, it's getting to a pretty crazy nowadays, guys. It's getting pretty crazy nowadays. We got to vote. We got to vote. We got to be involved, because it's literally getting very, very crazy, and we're getting bullied to do things that we don't want to do. We're getting bullied all the time, to a point that now, I pay taxes. I pay a ton of taxes. I literally pay a ton of taxes. I work, I pay taxes, I pay property taxes. You guys see, I own a house. So I'm paying all these taxes, and I can't even go to Target because I'm being bullied to wear a mask, right? I haven't been in Target in weeks. But God bless my wife. She has to go in there and get stuff. I've been there maybe once or twice, but I tried to stay away from that place, right? And the other day, I went to a gas station. I had to pee. I couldn't hold it no more. This was like maybe like a week and a half ago. Big sign on the door. I can't use the bathroom because I don't have a mask. And the thing about it is that it's hilarious, because there is nothing healthy about this mask. Nothing. I mean, you see these people wearing the same mask for over a day, and even days at a time. I talked to a person in my family that told me, I have the same mask for the last month. I'm like, so you have the same disgusting mask for over a month. You've been coughing on it. I mean, that thing should be burned by now. That thing is so disgusting and so full of germs that you probably have more chances to get sick from that mask than anything else. But that person called me to tell me, are you going to have your kids wear a mask? Are you going to wear a mask? And it's hilarious, literally hilarious. I'm like, dude, like, you probably going to get sick out of your mask because, although you've been coughing on it for the next month. And if you, don't get me started. And if you want to get healthy, don't worry about COVID 19. You may want to lose some weight, buddy, because that diabetes is not good. That high blood pressure is not good. Smoking is probably not good. Drinking is not good. I mean, there's so many things that I could put in the picture right here, right? That, trust me, COVID 19 is not going to be the biggest things that you're going to have to face, right? Like right now, my biggest concern is my cholesterol, because I went to the doctor and the doctor told me, you're fat. You need to lose weight. And your cholesterol is so high that at 55, you're probably going to have a heart attack. And it was a reality check. And I know I said this in the channel multiple times. Some of you guys have heard me talking about this. I lost 25 pounds. I think it's 25.2 pounds since I started. At the end of the month, I got another appointment, and they're going to check my blood. And hopefully my cholesterol went down, because I dropped 25 pounds. Maybe as long as it went down a little bit, I'll be happy. And then I continue to work on that, right? So again, my biggest concern to my health right now really wasn't COVID-19. It was, my cholesterol. That's what it was. But here's the thing. I do this kind of videos, and I don't want to shame anybody neither. If you're an older person, if you feel that you should wear a mask, wear a mask. This is the thing that when people argue with me about this, it's one of those things that I'm like, man, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm really not. I'm just telling you that it's not fair to some of us to, be silly about it and force us to wear a mask. Like, we're getting bullied. We can't even go into the store, because if we walk into the store, we can't buy milk for our kids without being screamed at, because we have to wear a mask, or without people giving us dirty looks. And to me, it's very hypocritical, because the same people that are giving you dirty looks are the same people that are there for no reason. So if you're so worried about it, stop going to the Mexican restaurant and go home, right? Because you're worried about it. You shouldn't be in the Mexican restaurant. That's not an essential part of your survival. And at the same time, what's going to be next in the name of safety? When they develop this vaccine, are you going to force us to get it? Are you going to tell us we have to get this or we can't walk into Target to buy milk for our children? That's just being bullied. And that's not what we stand for. That's the thing right there. That is definitely not what we stand for. We live in a land where we're supposed to be in the land of the free. We're supposed to be smart people. We're supposed to make our own decision. And sometimes I hear people saying, well, some people are stupid. Some people don't make the right decisions. I totally agree with that, but that have nothing to do with me. You could believe whatever you want to believe. You could do whatever you want to do. But we live in a land where we are supposed to make our own decision. And right now in 2020, you're telling me I have to wear a mask. But in 2025, you're probably going to tell me I have to have a registration card with all my shots. And in 2030, I maybe have a chip in my body. Because, in the name of safety, we have to do this. And I'm going to tell you right now, Fabian is not putting a chip on his body. That's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. So, and again, it's something that people been saying for a while. Biblical Truth Center says masks don't work. It has been proven. And, it's just one of the things that is insane. Let me look at some of the comments right here for some of you guys. I appreciate some of you guys, putting comments and things like that. You guys are fantastic. And I really appreciate that. Let me see. So, anyways, a lot of guys watching. I appreciate you guys start watching. I'm going to tell you, I just wanted to come up here and just talk about this for a little bit. It's one of those things that we got to make the best decision for our family, obviously, and we want to make the best decision for our family. But we continue to hear this, and I think it's going to get worse when it comes to election. I think this is not going to stop. This thing may not stop because couple reasons. First of all, the news make money out of this. So they're going to force it. They're going to push it. There's always going to be something crazy happening because they have to make money. That's just how it goes. Two, there's going to be essentially there's elections. And it's going to get bad. You guys seen it. My advice to some of you guys to get involved. Get involved. Be part of the election process. Be part of the process. Cast your vote. If you don't cast your vote, you have no right to comment. You have no right to complain. Because if you're not going to be part of the solution, to me, I don't want to hear. Be part of the solution. Even though if we disagree, and I'm going to tell you right now, even though if we disagree, make your vote. I mean, that's an amazing thing. I was born in Cuba. In Cuba, when I was in Cuba, you didn't vote. Right? I was a kid, but my mom didn't have that privilege to be able to vote because Fidel Castro, he was a dictator. Here we have that privilege to vote, so be involved, right? I want to say hi to Dan. God bless you, brother. Hope you're doing good. Fantastic. I appreciate you guys watching. But anyways, just wanted to come over here, do a couple videos or do a video and talk to you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, God is in control.